All right, this is One Last Midnight. Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Well, I've completed the holiday event. The Fixmas research tree has been complete in the MAM, and I've got my tree, I've got my star, I've got my lights, and all the package trees, and one snowman. I think I'm going to put up maybe one other snowman on this other side, kind of make it a little bit more symmetrical, or maybe a handful of snowman mixed throughout this whole thing. But this is it. So I've gotten everything, I've done everything, and I've shut all these machines off. The big question is what to do with the waste, and I have no idea yet. I don't know if they're going to allow us to get rid of the waste in the awesome sink to possibly generate some tickets off of it, or if it's just going to be sitting around forever. If it is, I don't know, I'll dump it. I have no idea what I want to do with it. Today, we're going to work on reworking the entire copper production line. And man, is it going to be painful. So all of this has to be pulled down and built into a building and double the production, all that good stuff. So currently right now, I'm running off of one normal copper mine. I need to move this to a Mark II miner. And then I need a double production of these because it's going to be able to support 8 smelters instead of 4. And I can double everything up and then put it into large storage. And so the whole purpose of all these buildings is to produce some of the base materials that then can be converted into slightly more advanced materials, which would be used in the assemblers. So I want to produce all of my assembler items in one building and store them off somewhere, and then move some of the assembler items because they're used in the manufacturing facility. Let me just come over here really fast, show you what the manufacturing facility looks like, and you can see some of the items that are produced, like the modular frames or the encased industrial beams, or any one of these other additional items can then turn around and be converted into the manufactured goods. There's a handful of manufactured goods. And some of these items right here are actually used to unlock the final stage of the space elevator, which is 7 and 8, I believe. Tier 7 and 8. And let's see what I have here. Yeah, to unlock tier 7 and 8, I'm going to need these guys. Now, I almost have all the versatile frameworks already, but I haven't even started working on the modular engine or started working on the adaptive control unit. But I do have a lot of, most of these things already ready to be used in the assembly for those. But like I said, today is all about copper. So let's rip this down and try to start placing out, a foundation for this new manufacturing facility. I am going to have to temporarily move some stuff. And so I'll be back when I pull all this down and show you guys, where I'm planning on putting this new manufacturing building. Okay, it took a little bit longer than I expected it to take, but typically it is. I had to wait for all the resources to get processed. And then I had to move stuff over. So off in the distance over yonder by the space elevator, I've got some temporary storage that's holding all the cable and the wire and the tubes, the copper stuff. So, okay, so in here is where I'm going to set up the smelters, and then another level above is where I'll put the constructors. And I think this is pretty much where the platform is going to be. I noticed that, I can get a good amount of smelters in so that when this mine increases to a Mark III mine, I should be able to expand this facility out. So let me get started with laying out the first level, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I did with the layout for the first level. Doggo! What's up, Doggo? What are you doing, man? You're like cruising through my factory. All right, talk to you in a bit. Okay, I finally laid out all of the smelters, and this is kind of what I have. I've got the Mark II miner that got laid down, going into a Mark III lift, then into a splitter just to send it in a straight line to another splitter, which will feed 120 ore to each side, which will feed all 8 of the smelters, 4 on each side. And then finally, the output is going out on this side into 4 lifts. Now we're going to split this off. 2 of these will merge into 1 up here on the top, and then the other 2 of these will be used independently. So let's go ahead and put the next level of walls up and floor. And I'll be back. All right, let's go ahead and take a peek at the second level of this factory. So bottom is smelters. Each one of these 2 inputs is 2 smelters. So that's our total of 8. And we're going to make the copper sheets. The copper sheets, we can run 3 constructors per 2 smelters. So those 2 inputs over there for the copper bars are going to go into 6 constructors, which are creating the copper sheets. That'll go up to storage. On the 4th level, the input on the far right-hand side is going into 4 constructors, which are producing copper wire. That output will go all the way up to the 4th level to storage. And this middle input, we're actually going to move to the 3rd level, and that 3rd level will be converting those over into cables. So it'll be 4 constructors for wire, and then into 2 constructors for cable, and then that cable will be moved up once again to the 4th level for storage. So let me go ahead and put the walls on this and start building the 3rd level, which is going to be my cable production. And then we'll focus on storage after that. All right, so the 3rd level is pretty much complete. The good thing about the 3rd level is it leaves room for expansion, right? So if I want to replicate this whole thing over here, I can put it. And this produces cables, right? So 4 constructors are producing copper wire, and then these other 2, they're feeding into 2 other constructors which are producing cable, and then that'll go up into storage. So if I need more cable, I can go ahead and produce cable right here. Of course, I would need to have more copper bars coming in to be able to do that, but it's feasible to be able to do that. The big problem with this is that this base or this building right here doesn't really leave a lot of room for expansion, right? So on level 2, I really can't expand out that much more. I would have to take this and replicate this upward. So while I could do cables, let's say we go to Mark 3 on the miner and then maybe overclock it so that it's like equivalent to like a Mach 4. I don't even know if we could do that, but if we can get it up there so that it's double the current amount, which currently right now I believe it's at 240. So if we can get it up to 480, yeah, 240. If we can get it up to 480, we can double this whole production all over again. We would have to just go vertical, right? I'd have to reevaluate. God, sticky ladder. I'd have to reevaluate how I wanted to do that, which would mean like moving the storage, dumping the storage off to probably like an awesome sink or something, and then going up vertical, pulling down a couple layers and then going up vertical again. Not that big of a deal, and not something that I'm interested in doing at this particular moment in time, because I think what I really want to do is I have copper ore coming in on the other side of the map from way far away, and I think what I want to do is replicate this factory over beyond the blue building over there, so that I can have a kind of a secondary of this being made over there, because I have some of the assemblers and the manufacturer are going to require me to have cabling and copper sheets and that type of stuff, and I don't know if I want to feed it all out of this building or if I want to separate those 2 functions and put one over here and maybe feed it out of here. So let me finish this off. The only thing that has to be done is storage, and then we'll power it up and we'll get it working. Okay, so I got my storage level pretty much complete. I mean, I just need to put walls up and stuff like that, but otherwise it's all configured. So I have the 3 resources coming in. I have the copper sheets, I then have the cables, and over there I have the copper wire. And you can see how I have this configured. I have 5 storages across and 3 up for 15 storages. And I have a belt that's going across and jumping into a smart splitter. So I just recently got the smart splitter not too long ago, and I'm starting to make a change to my storage so that I have some overflow. So all my overflow is going to then turn around and go into like some smart, awesome sink, right? I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put it, but I think I'm going to have my overflow go out the backside of the building. And then, so this is a change that I'm going to make to all of my storage in the future, and go back into the other 3 factories that I have and make this change as well. So it feeds in from the top. It then turns around and feeds down to the bottom. It feeds across. And once it gets backed up, then the overflow will turn on, and the overflow will then go feed to some sort of awesome sink somewhere. The output is all going to come right here, and then that output is going to go down. And so all of my outputs are facing this center area, because this center area, this down here, is going to be ripped up. This all-in-one iron mine, it's served me really, really well. This, if you have a pure iron mine, I highly recommend setting up this all-in-one, because you just get an enormous amount of resources out of it. And it's been able to run all of my secondary, like smart plating and my all my frameworks and all that stuff with no problems whatsoever. I probably didn't even need these large facilities to do each one of those resources individually. I probably could just run it off of this. It probably would have gone a little bit slower when I'm doing the assembler stuff, but so far this has worked out really well. So my main factory floor is going to be right where this all-in-one is. I'm going to put it in here, and it's going to be the assemblers, it's going to be the manufacturers, and it's going to be pulling in all the other secondary resources. So there's a couple other factories that I need to set up. I need to set up the Caterium factory. I need to set up the steel factory. I need to set up a couple other additional, like, little tiny factories all over the place. I want to redo my concrete factory and move my concrete factory over. So there's some changes. We're going to continue to keep building this factory up, but where we're getting to is a point where down here, this middle area down here, is going to be my main assembly area, and it's going to feed from all these little factories. So the output is coming out here, and it's facing inward this way. So that's it for this. I mean, there's a little bit of tidy up that I have to do. I have to run a couple belts into this output area. But other than that, I think, you know, it's pretty much set. This particular factory is done. So the copper factory is now ready to go. If I need to expand this copper factory, which I highly doubt, I think I'm just going to keep it on a Mark II, because I have copper coming in on this other side past this blue building. I'll probably replicate this setup over there if I need it. And I think I will, because I am going to need some way to produce all of, like, the electronic stuff, like the circuit boards and the smart something or other, and, you know, all those other things which take this copper. I'm probably going to produce that over there where the Caterium and the smart wire and all that is. So I probably have this secondary building sitting over there producing that. And then this particular building will feed any of the other assemblers or manufacturers that I might need done here. So that was pretty long-winded, but the only thing left to do is to turn this thing on and see it work. So let me lay out the conveyor lines that I need to lay out, and we'll turn this whole thing on and get it started. We got copper sheets feeding in. We have cable feeding in. And we've got wire feeding in. This looks good. And then let's see if it's coming out correctly. Yep, it's all lined up to come out. So we're good. So that factory's complete. So like I said, I think the next step here is to focus on the Caterium Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to focus on the steel. So I'm going to get steel up over there and take those 2 mines, which are pure mines, and start producing steel off of it. I have 1 additional pure mine right here. And I don't know what to do with it, to be honest with you. I probably could pump it into steel and just have 3 pure mines making steel related items. Because honestly, I think that this is a pure mine, that's a pure mine, that's a pure mine. So I think it's not going to be an issue. I think I'm going to have enough output from these 3 buildings to be able to support what I need. You know, so I'm debating. I'm really debating what I should do with this additional one. If you guys have a question, if you guys have a suggestion, you know, let me know, because I can either take this all-in-one facility and build up with it and move my main factory over here instead of being down through here in the middle like this. I could do an all-in-one facility and then just have that as a support. Or I can just pump it off into steel and just create steel related items. Probably steel is going to be the way to go, but I'm not entirely sure. So let me know what you guys think and what direction you want to see me go. But we're going to focus on steel next. And like I said, I might do that. It's either going to be steel or it's going to be the cement factory. I'd like to clean up the cement factory. Also, I don't know what I'm going to do with the Christmas related stuff. I'm totally done with the MAM tree for the Fix-It. I have no idea if those goodies are going to be, you know, all the Christmas package items are going to be worth keeping. Maybe just keep a couple stacks of them for whatever reason. I don't know. And then toss the rest. I have no idea what I should do with that stuff, because I can't put it through the Awesome Sink. But anyways, that's it for me. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you in the community. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find the links in the description below, and make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when I go live and when I post new videos. Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.